Welcome to Barbell Shrugged. I'm Anders Varner. We're in my garage. We're hanging out with Nick Mangini. He is the owner of CrossFit Surmount, which is my home gym. And as far as I can see, I have not really noticed any other gym owners doing this coronavirus shutdown as well as what CrossFit Surmount's been doing. I've been a member for about 8 months now. It's been awesome. The number one thing that I've noticed really has just been the community that you guys have built. And what we want to learn, or what we're going to talk about really, is just the story of the gym, how you can build a community, because what I've noticed in the people that are struggling right now, specifically the gym owners, it's not really the coronavirus thing that is putting people behind. It's kind of the work that has led up and the community that people have built leading into what is now this massive community-driven piece of shifting from a brick and mortar to an online business and keeping everybody tight together. So just a little bit of background on you, of like when you bought the gym, what the gym was like, and kind of we'll get into moving forward on how you've built it.
Yeah, so we've been down here in North Carolina almost 5 years now. Started CrossFit up in Buffalo, New York, like, I don't know, 10 years ago. Yeah. CrossFit Williamsville, and then went to CrossFit Amherst and was coaching there, and moved down here to CrossFit Surmount. And about 4 years ago, we had the opportunity, my wife and I, Meredith, to buy it. And it was kind of always a dream of ours, and it worked out really well. So we took that opportunity to buy it. Culture was really good already. We had a great group of people, but then we took it from there and added some systems to it, and I think we've really grown with it. Making a family atmosphere. Obviously, safety is always number one, but we've really, after safety, it's like fun, and that's kind of been like the driving thing, is like having fun at the gym, making it a fun place to come to, where you want to come to the gym instead of have to come to the gym. Because I think, like, I'm a big believer, like, if you're having fun, you're going to keep wanting to do it. If you're not having fun, like any training program or nutrition diet or anything, you're going to just fall off the wagon a little bit. So we instilled fun. We learned a lot as we got into it. What's really prepped us for this is just the systems we had in place already. Just like a lot of things, we just systemize so the gym can run so smoothly. But then the culture, just hammering it home, and it's all about people. Like, that's what it's boiled down to through this, and like before and going forward, that's made us successful, and hopefully continue to. It's just like human connection. Totally. Like, we're there a lot, my wife's there a lot, and connecting with people and just being upfront and honest, and taking care of people like they're humans, not like they're a member or a check or a credit card payment. They're real people that we care about, and I think they feel that. And we've got that with our coaches too. Like, when we get our coaches in, they have to subscribe to that. Like, it's your job, but it's more than that here. And I think that has made this a little bit easier for us. And
when did you guys when did the coronavirus thing kind of like start to get some traction, where you realized this might be something you're gonna have to deal with?
Yeah, probably. The days are just like
it's all one day right
all
now.
One day. Yeah, it's like, so like today's Thursday, maybe like 2 weeks ago, I think kind of caught wind, and like a few people were like, I'm just gonna like chill out a little bit for a day or two at home. And that's when Meredith and I just started like, hey, we saw like the news, and like, hey, what's like our contingency plan? Like, let's not wait till we're forced to do something to figure out a plan. Let's figure it out now. Then when it happens, we're ready to go. So probably 2 weeks ago, and then we slowly started getting into formulating our plan, and obviously it's like uncharted territory for everybody. So we're like, we're gonna learn on the fly. And I think what's helped, like with this and then with everything, is like we're just transparent. Like, hey, here guys, here's what we're gonna do. If it doesn't work, we'll try something else, and like bear with us, and just being honest with everyone. Like, hey, we tried, and we're always kind of guided by like the best, what we think is best for our members, our coaches, our family. And we make mistakes too.
I feel like that transparency thing, it's really easy, especially in the CrossFit world. And one thing I've noticed just being at the gym is like, especially from my gym that I owned, when we were like so focused on competition, and it was like the era of CrossFit when it was like very, very focused on regionals, the local competitions. But I always talk about if I could go back and do it again, it would look so much more like your gym in that none of that is part of the conversation, and it really does feel like this big family. But kind of as you started to realize we have to deal with this, where were you looking for answers? Was there already some sort of business plan, or were you reaching out to other gyms, other coaches, finding out like what was the community of gym owners looking like?
Yeah.
Because I imagine not everybody was just on their own figuring it out.
Right. We've we've benefited from working with Two Brain and Chris Cooper before, so we had a lot of those ideas. Obviously, no one had like templates for coronavirus, but we had.
Here's the pandemic.
Yeah, here's the pandemic. But we just had we had an idea of like how to do goal setting.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about like let's work with our members to do like one-on-one goal setting. Let's work with them like one-on-one. Personal training. So we kind of had like a template for that, and we were like, all right, we need to start maybe switching towards that. A lot of it honestly was just like grabbing stuff from Instagram, Facebook, members groups, and like seeing stuff, and we're like, hey, that's a good idea. Let's take a little bit of that and tailor it to us. Knowing that like, all right, these Zoom workouts, like Zoom classes, like let's take that but make it more CrossFit surmounty, if that makes sense. Like, let's see, we've got coaching, but we can't just spit out information and say like take it on your own. Like, we kind of looked at ourselves in the mirror like, hey, if I'm the athlete, and I am, like, I was joking yesterday, it's like that old hair club for men, like I'm the owner, but I'm also a member. So it's like I'm the owner, and so is my wife, but we also work out with the class. And like, what would we want? Like, would we want just like here's your workout, tell me how you did, or like we want to be coached,
Well,
so a little of that.
I think that is me being purely in the online world, I'm learning a ton from watching the gyms, because I shouldn't say this on my own platform, but I feel like you guys are doing online coaching better than every online coach, because the majority of us, an overwhelming majority, I would even go as far as say like 100% of us, are writing programs, people are doing them, then they report things back, and there isn't that real-time relationship. And whether that is what some people want or some people don't want is purely a personal thing. But when I look at the landscape of online training and online coaching, I feel like we're at a big transition. And the way that the brick and mortar facilities have turned into online, but bringing that same personal touch, the same laughs, the same kind of communication structure that the brick and mortar piece does, is going to radically shift the way that we have to do things.
Right, yeah.
How long did it take for the first coaches meeting saying, hey, this is real, to developing some sort of structure and system this thing happened fast.
Yeah,
you guys probably went from, hey, this is real, to shut down in 10 days.
Yeah, right.
So what did the coaches meeting to implementation look like?
Yeah, and we had a coaches like Zoom meeting, of course, too, because it was like, can't even get them together. So it was like at first I sent out a couple emails and like, hey guys, here's what's happening, I think, and then let's get a Zoom meeting. And it was, a little chaotic, just because they're like, hey, this is what I think, and I had to rein in a little bit. But it went from Zoom meeting to with the coaches of, here's what we got to transition quick. And then we formulated a game plan quickly of, we got all our members, put them in a big spreadsheet, and then divvied them up to our coaches. And we've been, you talk about like what it's looked like. It's changing every like 10 minutes. Like our coach text thread is like enormously long right now, because it's like, hey, I learned this, let's switch to this. Like we're changing our link for Zooms to make it easier. We're changing how we're communicating with our clients and members. Like, and it's different. And I think like what's helped is we've allowed our coaches to do what works for them. Email, text, and then a video like text message too. But taking it to that personal level and going from there. But it started off just like, all right, we're going to do, send out an email in the morning and the afternoon. And then we're like, that's not good enough. That we got to do more than that. Because we got like the response rate was maybe 50% initially. And we're like, that's going to die off quick. So then we're like, let's get some text messages, let's get some video messages, Facebook, obviously, Instagram, shoot that stuff out, and just have fun with it.
When you sat down with the coaches, was there any like immediate, oh no, I'm not good at the internet? Like,
yeah.
Because you guys don't have like a massive social media presence. It's a very local family, to the point where I've even made comments where you're like, yeah, we're not really like trying to grow. Like, we want to know everyone's name. It's not some national brand. It's a very local family feel when you go in there, which is awesome because it's created what you guys are doing right now. But in that, without having a big social media presence, without having like coaches that are constantly talking on the phone, you're kind of forcing them to create a brand new skill set that many people aren't used to, that like performing online when they're also when their main skill set is being in front of real live people and coaching.
Yeah.
Was that a bit of a transition? Was there any pushback on like, it's just not for me?
Yeah. So like going back to transparency, I think one of my first emails to my team was like, here's what we're going to do, guys. If it's not for you, let me know now, you know, and it might not be for you. Getting on calls and texting people and like, that might not be, let me know now. We're going to learn as we go. And it's still going that way. But yeah, like technology, like the Zoom stuff, even to like 10 minutes before I got here, we're just like going back and forth, and like our coaches learning, tips of the trade, like turn off the sound for everybody, or, how you can see everybody on there. There wasn't too much pushback, which was awesome. Everyone's like, hey, again, like our coaches, all our members too, obviously, and they're in it too. So they have that buy-in, and they're like our family as well. So they're like, what can we do to make it work?
Yeah.
I'll try it out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I'll try it out.
Yeah.
So, the technical aspects, we still like, there's hurdles every day. And like, if the link doesn't work today, all of a sudden it's like, oh, find a new link, create the meeting quick. This guy's computer doesn't work, or this, so I think like that's going to be ongoing, and like our video quality, we're trying to improve that, and sound and everything. But, I personally learned how to set up a YouTube channel, and I was super proud of that. And then to learn to like put a link on our website to direct you right to the Zoom thing. So just trying to simplify. It's like every day learn a new thing. Like it's definitely, extra for everybody involved. But I think like businesses in general that can come out of this are going to be stronger, because you're like, we could do this. Like we learned this, we can make it through this.
Yeah.
And now we have like some new systems that we can roll into, crisis or not, that are effective.
Well, that's like another thing that is very interesting, because everybody's having to transition out of brick and mortar right now and into the online space. And now you've built this system and the ability to scale infinitely, really. I mean, that's why people go online. But are there pieces of this that you feel like you'll continue through? Is it like, I guess it's impossible for everything not to grow in a direction.
Yep.
So what pieces of it do you feel like are worth keeping? Does it not fit the vibe that you want to have? Have you thought about kind of 3-4 months down the road?
Yeah, so I thought about like, I think a lot of it will spur into, the vibe of our gym is obviously in person. Like that's missed tremendously. Like you said that right before we got on, and me too. Like working out with people, that's CrossFit. That's just like in general, it's just more fun that way. Your intensity's up. You can only be in the garage so much. So that'll always be our core. But I think like a lot of people, after we get through this, they're gonna be like, hey man, Nick's not talking to me every morning with the text message. Like, where's my video message? It's like, well, we're back in the gym. So I think people might miss that and be like, hey, can I get in on some of that one-on-one coaching? Like, and that might be, or it's like, you know what, hey, maybe I just come once a week, and 2 times a week I'm at home, and because I'm sure there's going to be more changes, worldwide just on how we operate. So I think that platform is going to go on. And then same with like our YouTube channel, like people all over can kind of look on that and bring it almost as a marketing thing, because we're just spitting out little bits of the workout there. It's like, hey, here's what they're doing. Let me get more of that. And then our kids class has like exploded in the last 2 weeks, big time. Parents need things to do. So we were running like 2 kids classes a week, and now we're at 3, and like each Zoom class is just like 10, 12 kids.
Well, and the parents get to do it with
the parents get to do it with them. Yeah, so it's like, it's perfect, 11 o'clock. And So, I mean, that might be an option to continue too for homeschooling is kind of big around here, or track out, kids are off of school, can hit more people and then get into, I've thought about even like recording those things. It's not the same that you don't have, that live feedback, but you've got, almost like a DVD you pop in for the kid.
That's 100% what I wanted to ask next. So the fact that you can create a database of 3 months of workouts specifically for a kids group or whatever, mom's group, pregnant group, whatever it is, your ability to go and have this skill of recording workouts, having that feedback, I really feel like there's just so many opportunities that the gym owners have been forced into this world, and it's kind of been our world of content creation and showing people what we're doing. It's not that we're in trouble by any means, but we have a whole group of people that are coming in with like an already dedicated following. It's been so wild to me to watch how quickly everybody was able to move online. When you set up, I haven't been to any of the workouts because I'm trying to do our own thing here. But what is kind of like the setup and flow? How are warm-ups run? Like what are the actual coaches delivering in those classes?
Yeah, so we're trying to keep them as much like our regular class as usual. Still like an hour long. We do the warm-up. Probably we might go a little bit over because the first 5 minutes is a little bit like an athlete check-in. So it's like, Anders, what kind of equipment you got in your home? So I coached one yesterday morning, bright and early, and I went through and we were doing some snatches, and it's like 2 of the ladies had barbells, 2 had dumbbells, 3 had nothing. So the 3 had nothing, we grabbed broomsticks. So it's kind of like a little check-in first, like, all right, get your equipment. You're going to use a broomstick and we'll work on technique. You got your barbell. And the one girl didn't have a jump rope, or she was in a 3rd floor apartment, so she's like, I can't go jump rope. So we, that's the first part. But then we're going through the same thing. The coach is there, able to swipe through, leads them through the warm-up, sets a timer up. Music-wise has been like one of the things we learned on. So we're like, the coach will play music, and it's just like crazy, just too loud. So we'll have all the athletes mute them and mute their own speaker, and they can play their own music a little bit. But she's still the coach is still coaching through it, like swiping through and seeing who's doing what. And similar to class, like, all right, that's our strength. I'm going to give you 2-3 minutes for a water break. Go to the bathroom. But it's been fun. Like, you see everyone's garage. Like, you get candid moments, like the dog runs in front, the baby cries, or whatever. It's like, it in a way has like brought everyone closer. Like, I was doing it yesterday, and I was like, saw people's garages and homes. I'm like, that's a nice home you got, nice house. Oh, you got a new puppy. That's super cool. So it's like we come back and you get to see the puppy and everything. So it's kind of neat. You get a side of your members that you don't normally see, and everyone's a little more vulnerable, like just rolling out of bed. Since it's at home, they're just whatever.
Have you guys added on any services? So one thing that I was thinking that would be like a massive opportunity, we talked about it on our show that we released on Monday. Is how much nutrition coaching would go along, or like the mindset of training, because in CrossFit people lose their minds if they can't do their like super intense 12-minute Metcon every day. So like, how am I going to do that? Like, what am I paying for if I don't feel like crap every day when I'm done working out? Like, I need it. And it radically shifts the mentality, and when they're not burning those calories, or they're not getting that fix every day, or it's just different, they're snatching a broomstick instead of a barbell, the nutrition piece changes. So there's like so many opportunities for coaching. Have you guys gotten into a lot of that?
The nutrition stuff we're just starting to roll out. Obviously my wife Meredith is a dietitian, so she hosted a little lunch Zoom meeting the other day, and she's got one for tomorrow, and just kind of helping people through that. Hey, like, I'm home all the time, like, one thing, it's good, so you're not going to do your eating out and junk food as much, but you're also home and you get into that habit of snacks all the time. Yeah. So today we had a cool challenge that we put on too with snacks. Anytime that you open the fridge, even if you just look in there or you grab something, you got to take that orange juice, donut, whatever, over your head and do 10 overhead squats. Awesome. So kind of like you go to the fridge like 20 times a day, or just 200 overhead squats, even though it's just maybe like an egg or something, it adds up quick. So, but yeah, we're leading into that, and it's starting with Meredith doing just some group calls and fielding questions, and that probably leads into more as we go down the road. Like, hey, you really helped me through this. Can I meet with you? And we take that to the next level. But right now we're sensitive. Obviously, everyone's in a tight spot, not knowing what's going on. So we're including all that to our members and giving that as their membership.
Well, I think Wake County, which is the county that we live in, just went on like basically house arrest. I don't know what the real
supposed to be coming.
We're all gonna get like our
ankle bracelets.
Like we just got out of jail.
You get buzzed if you go to the gym.
I just went to Target for the last time today, for probably the next 4 months.
Yeah.
But like, how do you go about keeping morale up? And I personally, I feel like in our industry, I even wrote a blog about it and sent it out to our mailing list the other day about like, if everybody goes into this thinking about like, this is a strength cycle that's 12 weeks long.
Yeah.
And we've all been a part of it. We're like week 1 and 2, everybody's happy. We're all squatting, volume's up, everybody's sore because it's this new thing. And then week 6 rolls around, you're like, dude, this sucks.
Yep.
Like, I can't keep doing this. Do you guys have plans for like monthly challenges? Just kind of like what is month 2, month 3? Because this may be a 6-month thing. We have no idea.
Right. Yeah, we've got that planned out. And like I said, we've got to be like able to change on the fly and not have, we've got like a framework, but we're also like, that could change tomorrow and we got to be able to go. But yeah, we've got daily challenges and those are just meant to be really fun with moving you a little bit. We're talking about as if this, is like, hey, this is going to be 12 weeks. We're almost like an open style where at our gym, the open is like the Super Bowl. We break everyone into intramural teams and just really have a ton of fun with it. And maybe we do that because that's real. Like, that's there's no like history to look back at, but a lot of people in the industry with the Zoom stuff and online stuff, you're right. Like after 2 weeks, the novelty probably is going to wear off of that garage workout and like I haven't touched a barbell and I'm sick of this one dumbbell I got and I can't get equipment and how to change it up. And part of it's going to be like, what can we do? Can we get outside to parks or probably not? But it's got to be constantly changing and trying to stay ahead of it. And it goes back to just kind of like that thing I said at the beginning, being transparent and talking to people. And it's just asking members like, hey, what do you guys want?
Yeah.
Like we can deliver it. Let us know. Like if these Zoom workouts suck after 2 weeks, tell us and we'll change it up and use that programming that we got and maybe it's, who knows, something else. But the challenges help. We're gonna do next week some Zoom happy hours where it's just like there's no working out.
We just sit here in a lawn chair.
Yeah, just get together and see your fellow members and Zoom coffee hour.
That's gonna be my first workout that I make.
There you go. You'll sign in for that. Yeah, the joke is like we'll get like 80 people to sign in for that class. Yeah, Zoom happy hour. I did that with a couple of high school buddies last week and it was awesome because it's like, hey, we're sitting here. You got to have a beer. You got to have an old funny story. That was the requirement to get on the call. Awesome. So stuff like that just to keep engagement up.
Yeah.
Our Facebook page, is super active. People share, like yesterday, lady's having a baby. She posted, she's like, I'm at home. I got to tell somebody. I'm having a girl. And one of our members posted this goofy thing today. It was like, Google your name and glamour shots, and it's just like has nothing to do with CrossFit, but it's super funny, like the ridiculous pictures that come up and it keeps everyone engaged and we all need that right now, just like a goofy thing to have fun with. So it's changing all the time.
What's the relationship with kind of the government and how you guys are finding out information? I actually have no idea how the word gets even passed to you guys.
Yeah, it's just like,
do you find out when I find out?
Yeah, the government thing is like, I would try to find out the other day and I was trying to like, there's not an email that comes through. There's not like a CrossFit box message from, the governor. It's just like, I have to like kind of dissect it and be like, I think that applies to us, or, all right, gyms, yeah, that's us. We're a gym. But now it's talking about like essential and you can travel to, I saw like maybe you can travel to do online sales and maybe you can travel to do, I'm like, so we're kind of in that boat, and You know, if I could travel to the gym to film a video and a workout. You know, we've jumped ahead too. We've changed our garage at home, my personal garage, so we can film some stuff there if we need to, just in case. And we've got equipment there at home. But yeah, there's like the stuff I hear from the government is what I hear on the news, or you know, it's just like everyone else, and it's a surprise, or it's been cool. Like I have members who text like, "Hey, here's what I heard. I work here. My friend's a lawyer. This is happening," and it's kind of just like that's how we digest our news, I guess, in general now.
Yeah, because I was actually wondering, like, what's stopping us all from going to the gym?
Yeah,
like,
right?
how are they going to find out?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because the shutdown order goes in, and one of the things that I've struggled with so much is like, I walk outside, and I'm like, this is my neighborhood.
It looks normal.
Nobody looks sick.
Yeah, right.
Nothing's happening yet. Our entire county just goes on shutdown.
Yeah.
And all the gyms are closed, and you're like, no, those are the healthy people that I want to be around right now. Why can't I go hang out with them? And there's pieces of it that I, like last week, I was like, okay, I'm like bought into this. And then there's times like this week where I'm just like, I don't get it. Why? Knowing that you are playing in like a almost like a game that you have no control over the rules right now, like how do you as the owner kind of stay mentally engaged? I know that like the financial piece, you obviously have to pay rent, you have to keep your members to keep the business going, but at some point, even on your side, the way that an athlete's motivation dies, like your motivation and the kind of feeling like the lack of control of the situation, it's really easy for that to slip away as well.
Yeah. Like from motivationally right now, like I'm getting it from our members and athletes, like the messages they send is just like super inspirational. Like they're like, we got you, keep going. Like, yeah, we're like, knowing that everyone's behind us and they're working out and seeing their videos. It's like there's no finish line. That's the hard part I think for everybody in this. Like, all right, I can get to there, but you got to tell me. It's like starting a Metcon and you're like, all right, here's the rep scheme. Well, how long? I don't know. Just keep going and I'll tell you when to stop. You're like, well, I don't know.
3 months.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know how long to pace myself. Like, do I do this first 400 meter like balls to the wall, or do I pace myself? Like, I don't know either. You just run and I'll tell you when to stop. Yeah. Totally. Pick up the barbell and do 20 reps, and if you're on 20, I might tell you to do 20 more. So it's kind of like that. Like, we don't know. So, I mean, I just, wake up every day and
see what happens.
Yeah, that's kind of like, my general like outlook on life is like control what you can control and don't worry about what you can't. And it's a little harder sometimes than others, but day by day, if you try and start thinking about like months down the road, it's like, whew, then you might get overwhelmed. So it's like, hey, let's wake up tomorrow, see what it's like, try and make the best of it, plan for the next day a little bit, and do it again. And it's like, we're maybe, I don't know, 10 days into it, and just like, I think sometimes I send to my coaches at the end, and I'm like, another one down, guys. Yeah. That's just like another tally on the wall, like you're in the jail cell, like one more. Forward. Keep swimming, right, Dory?
When I owned my gym, I think I got a lot of credit for doing everything that I do, and you own the gym with your wife.
Yeah.
Nobody ever really thinks about what the gym owner is doing when they go home at night. Yeah. Because no one cares.
Yeah.
They just only care about the hour and making sure that's their favorite hour.
Yeah.
You also have 3 kids. Yep. And you have another job. Yeah. Are you sleeping?
Yeah. This is like quite Meredith emailed you and like, hey, make sure you tee it up for me, right? No, like I couldn't do it without her. She's like, I get too much of the credit. The little credit that most of it, I always say is like the people like, oh, thanks for helping with the PR. I'm like, you guys got the PR and say, like you did the work. But Meredith is like the backbone. Obviously she's with the kids most of the time, running all the back stuff. She's much better with systems. I'm kind of like winging it type guy. So she puts that in place. But sleep is, I've never been a guy that needs a ton of sleep. Wake up, go to the coffee shop, our favorite coffee shop, get a little coffee and go. Go home. Sports has always been a big thing for me to watch, and go home and I got a full-time day job too, so we go home and catch up with Meredith on what I can help her out with the business, and try and have a good dinner and decompress a little bit. And right now watching Tiger King is like the best ever.
Right? They came out with that at the perfect time. All these people.
Tiger King is incredible. And I'm like,
man,
I'm so depressed though. We only have 2 episodes left to watch. So it's like, after Tiger King, what now? They need a Tiger King 2 or something. But
we're just gonna all play the music videos on repeat.
Yeah, there's probably not a lot on YouTube to find. But yeah, I mean, and my kids are 9, 6, and 3, so they like the 9-year-old kind of like he kind of gets what's going on, but they're just having fun. So they're actually doing their thing at home and playing in the yard. So they're tired, and so it's a team effort. But yeah, I mean, again, just kind of keep going day by day, and I don't know, I love it. I mean, if
we weren't solving problems,
it's like it's fun. Like I picked it up probably from my dad a long time ago, and it's just like his attitude, and it's like sometimes my wife gets annoyed with it because I'm just like probably too stress free and just like it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be fine. She's like, it's not gonna be fine. Like, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
She's like, turn on that. I'm like, it'll be all right. And that's just kind of how I am now. It's like maybe it's too positive, and I get stung for that sometimes. But that's just like my general, like, hey, again, like, it'll be all right.
That's a massive skill in gym ownership, because you've got 100, 200, whatever the membership is. That's a lot of opinions about what you're doing on a daily basis, and every little piece of it. So the ability to like not let every comment bother you and let things flow.
It still bothers me.
If the negativity stays around a couple weeks, there's a problem. If it's a day or a person, it's nice to be able to let that stuff slide a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I learned early when we bought the business, is like, you can't be everything to everyone, and like you're going to get opinions from everyone, and you got to have like stick to your core values and what you are, because like you said, you could otherwise you're going to be shooting in different directions, like trying to do that. Like McDonald's, they don't sell pizza, they're like, we're hamburgers, and it's like if we try to be everything to everyone, so our core value is kind of like, do what we do the best, take care of our people. We're going to be hardworking, upfront, honest, and always have like our members' best interests in mind. And I think everyone, if I still like, if we lose a member, it's like breaking up with a girlfriend or something, like you get broken up with. Like, totally. It's like, oh, it still hurts. No matter what it is, because they're, we think they're part of the family. So that, like, you never get over that, but it's
well, how many people how many people have stuck around? I don't really need to know how many less, but is it in the 90%?
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
seems like everybody is there still.
We've had one person out of 140 members that has said, and they're like, I'm going to put it on hold, and and I don't even know if it's really due to the coronavirus, because they're like, I got family coming in from out of town, and I just don't have the time right now. I mean, I guess root cause would be the coronavirus, but like, I got to take care of them and keep my kind of house under control right now.
Well, that's crazy, because
but we haven't lost anyone.
Yeah, the majority of the time when something like this happens, what you end up losing is all the people that were on the fence, that were like, I could stay, I could leave. But the fact that you lose one person out of 140 means that every month you're inside like 99% happiness rate. And in recurring memberships and billing, like that is the sign of having an incredibly good community. I remember when we were like inside 97% for like multiple years in a row, when CrossFit was just like booming and everybody was jumping in and just being like, and we were in the middle of San Diego, where like the average life expectancy in Pacific Beach is like 2 years. So to be able to kind of like carry that, I was so fired up about that, and the community was so tight. I guess in keeping all the people together, like the Zoom stuff works. Are they in communication with each other outside of the Facebook group? Is there a lot of just, I don't know how much you even have control over stuff like that.
So I think like part of the benefit we have here is like just the nature of like the town we're in. So many people have moved from out of state here, and don't necessarily have a ton of family here. Like if you find someone that was like born and raised in Raleigh or Apex, you're like, whoa, that's crazy. Like no one's from around here. So everyone kind of like, and that's how we got it hooked on the gym too. Is just like everyone like comes like, I don't know anyone, but I know CrossFit. And I mean, that's how you walked in the door. Like, I'm going to go to a CrossFit, and like, I know those people kind of have like values in mind, and a lot of our members are like that. And then they've become really good families. And so they've like I feel like maybe we've like helped cultivate that a little bit, but then they've taken it to the next level. And I saw the other day, like there's like all these subgroups of text messages of our coaches have created during this, and there's like, they're coming up with team names, and like it spirals out of control, and it has nothing to do with CrossFit, but they're staying connected. And it's super cool. And like everybody, I mean, the things we've gone through as a gym, we've had like babies and weddings, unfortunately, deaths, everything. But it's just like strengthens, and it's like people like, hey, I don't have family around, and this is like truly more than just the cliche, like that's their family, and like they take care, go out of town, they take care of their dogs, they've like members help out in there, and it's just like incredible, like if someone needs something. So it's spawned off, like I've seen a lot of almost every of our coaches groups that we gave, like everyone got about 10 to 12 athletes, and some have more that they're checking in on, have created these little groups of text messages. So people are meeting each other too, like, hey, I saw last night, like, whose number is that? And like, oh, cool. And then they start talking. And, so it's drawn people closer too. And I keep telling everybody, like, fingers crossed, like that we're back and running for Murph. It's going to be just a freaking epic blowout. We always do that big, but we're going to have just a monster party, and like people just like looking forward to that.
What has the like small business community around here been up to? I know that like you've been going around. Dude, I went into the Thai restaurant, Bon Thai, the other night. And it was super sad because there was like a 15-year-old girl that's clearly the daughter of the owners. Yeah,
I was there. I went there too, a couple nights ago,
She kind of gave me that, like, we eat there enough. It's like our favorite little spot on Sunday night. And she's always checking you out. Mom's always there. And you could just see, she was like, thank you so much. It wasn't the normal thank you. It was like, we like really need this. Please come back. And it tore me up because there's some 15, 16-year-old girl that like clearly understands balance sheets. She clearly understands what a busy restaurant looks like and feels like, and it's not like that right now. Has there been a pretty good community outreach from other local businesses? I know you and Paul, who owns our coffee shop, we call it ours. That's a good business when you call it yours.
That's right.
You have nothing to do with it. I know you guys have been going around. You're probably the only two like real business owners that I know in town. Has it been a pretty good community effort on the business side?
It really has. I mean, the between Paul with the coffee shop, one of our members, Derek, he owns a food truck as well, Bowie Bowls food truck, and but so like us three have kind of been bouncing ideas off each other, and then just kind of supporting each other too, in any way we can, whether it's just like going to buy, a couple beers from the local brewery, coffee shop, and then a lot of social media posts, just like, hey, don't forget, they're still open. They still need you too. Both those businesses, like, just been super impressed with them. Paul's got the drive-through, which helps a lot. And he's been like amazing of like hitting other local businesses and getting the word out. And then, Derek's been fortunate that it's a food truck, so he hadn't, he's mobile anyways, but still, like, it has to, there's an impact. And
the companies that he probably goes to during the week, everyone's at home.
Exactly. So he would hit an office building, now no one's there. So we've all just kind of just been like, Instagram sharing, repost, like, get the word out, like, these guys need you. Taco truck too in Apex. Another, like, one of my favorite meal restaurants is pancakes and chicken chicken, put it in the pancakes. This is the best ever.
Very on brand, paleo,
yes.
keto, all of it at once.
Yes.
Nothing fried.
Nothing fried. Yeah. local husband wife. They put chicken tenders inside a pancake.
Where's this at?
It's a food truck too. It's called Hot Chicks. Yeah, it's amazing.
I've never even heard of it.
Spicy chicken inside a waffle. It's like a taco. It's the best.
It's so awesome.
Kids love it too, so support them. Yeah. So, but it's been really good from a local business. Like from terms of like a SBA, there's been super quiet, and that's kind of been frustrating from a small business association. Like maybe we're just missing it, and I don't know, but it hasn't been vocal enough or reach out enough to where I'm like, oh, that's awesome. They're helping out with resources, but every other business is just helping each other out, doing what they can. We're going to do like some gift cards to those local businesses for our members for those weekly challenges, and instead of just like we used to do some challenges and we're like, hey, have a fit aid, and people like that. But like, hey, why don't we put that towards the coffee shop, the food truck. So they can keep rolling too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have the coaches been doing? I know that, so you have a general manager that runs the gym.
Yep.
And then 5 or 6 coaches.
Yep.
That kind of, I don't know how many, maybe 8 to 10 classes a week for each of them.
Yeah.
How have they kind of rallied outside of your leadership? Because I feel like you do have another full-time job and family and rely heavily on just their leadership skills.
Yep.
I'm assuming you're very happy with that, seeing how much stuff has happened. But what has been kind of the process of you standing on the outside and looking at how they've rallied together?
Yeah.
That's really kind of impressed you, or that you've seen?
Yeah, it's really impressed me, the way our coaches have like come together, and it's a two-way street. Like I've given them the freedom to, express themselves and coach how they want to, and they know like that they have the ability to do that, and I'm not going to be like, don't do that again, and like we will talk through stuff. But yeah, they get together. Like I love, like I'll pick up my phone at night, and there's like last night 73 text messages. Cool. Yeah, which is on one hand like
I'm muting all of the coaches.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of text messages. But then I go through it, I'm like, this is awesome. Like one of them had a question, one of them had an issue, and they solved it themselves, and they're all like buying in and just helping out so much, because it's just been awesome. And that freedom, like with the daily challenges, I was like, you guys come up with the challenges, like you're more creative than I am. So they're coming up with the challenges every day, giving them the freedom to do that. They're coming up with new ideas. Like I've tried to create a coaching team where they have no qualms about coming to me with an idea, and they're not going to get feel stupid with it. And I might say no, but I might be like, more times than not, I'm like, let's try it. You're passionate about it, let's try it. Like, you want to do that? Yeah, like we added kids classes this week, and it's been a hit.
The yoga classes are
we got yoga. We're doing yoga Zoom
classes.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs to be doing that.
Yeah, online yoga, yep. The only thing like with the online yoga, so like I clicked into online yoga yesterday, and like pro tip that we learned, like you got to set your camera up right. Because I clicked on that, I was like, let me just check out how the yoga class is going with everybody, and it's just like everyone in downward dog, and it was just like 15 butts in the air. I was like, all right, you gotta spin your camera around so you're like downward dog facing. Yeah. So, but it's funny, like,
learning
on the fly about how to do your yoga.
At least everybody is in downward dog, and there's not like 2 people just staring.
Yeah, that one guy who's like, whoa, nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then there's been like, I've heard rumors of Zoom bombing too. So we learned like we have to add a password to our Zoom classes, which is like new, because like people are at home and they're like,
I noticed that today. What happened?
Well, we haven't had it, but I've heard like Zoom bombing. So you're like, some hackers at home like tries to find a random Zoom like meeting or class, whatever, and then it just like pop up and like, hey guys, it's Vlad from Russia. And he just like wreaks havoc in the class. So
and you can't kick him out.
And you can't kick him out. Yeah. So add a password, even if it's just like number 3 or something. But that way your members, so you don't get any Zoom bombs.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Rad, man. This is awesome. I posted up, and just so everybody at home, I posted up just letting our members community know, and if they had any questions or comments, and it was just like comment after comment after comment. I really don't think anybody is, I don't know every gym owner in the world, but you guys are smashing it. The engagement is super high, so I hope any gym owner that's listening to this, please, like, all the takeaways that you can really do. I mean, I know friends that are losing members left and right, and that's crushing me. So to see these guys and the community you guys have built has been incredible. And
appreciate it.
The fact that you guys have lost a single member, not even lost them,
yeah,
it's just on hold.
She's coming back in a month.
Is really wild to me. So
and I love, like, you know, the community as a whole. Like, don't think of me as, you know, a business tycoon or anything. Like, just, you know, treat people like humans. And like, if you go to our website, CrossFitSurmount.com, our email's on there. If you got questions, I'd love to help people. Just like whatever. It's like, I'm not open book.
That's the whole
open
secret.
Book. Yeah,
be
that's
really
the
smart,
secret.
but don't let anybody know.
Yeah, right. No, not smart. Just tell the truth and be nice. You know, be human. Be more human, right?
So, Rad. I'm Anders Varner. We're Barbell Shrugged. Thanks, man.
Thanks,
We're gonna
man.
break
Appreciate
all the rules here.
Uh-oh.
Shake hands.
Hand sanitizer after.